Good evening, welcome to viewers of hullkr.tv. It's round 4 of the Super League as Hull Kingston Rovers visit the Salford City Stadium to take on the Salford City Reds. Rovers finally got their season underway with that win over the Widnes Vikings last week at MS3 Craven Park. They're going for back-to-back wins, and Craig Sandercock has named the following lineup. In the backs, at full-back, wearing number 1, sponsored by Harrison Solway, Greg Eden. On the right wing, wearing number 19, sponsored by the Westall RSG, Amari Caro. Returning to the side at right centre, wearing number 18, sponsored by the Insurance Partnership, Liam Salter. At left centre, wearing the number 3 shirt, sponsored by Malcolm West Forklifts, Chris Wellham. And on the left wing, wearing number 5, a former Salford player, sponsored by Mr. and Mrs. Broadbent, David Hodgson. Into the halves, at standoff, wearing number 2, sponsored by EYS, Craig Hall. And the skipper of the Robins, wearing number 7 at scrum half, sponsored by JC Services and Son Limited, Michael Dobson. And now the forwards. In the front row, wearing number 8, sponsored by Parasol, Ivan Tumavave. At hooker, wearing number 9, sponsored by A1 Tyre Services, Josh Hodgson. And making up that front row, wearing number 16, sponsored by the Hull Kr Fans Forum, Adam Walker. Into the second row, wearing number 11, sponsored by Primary Technologies, Con Mika. Wearing 12, sponsored by Hull Angling Centre, Corey Patterson. And wearing 32 at loose forward, sponsored by hullkr.tv, Dale Ferguson. On the bench, wearing number 23, sponsored by AA Jones Electrical, Mickey Payer. Wearing 15, sponsored by Quick Tough, Graham Horn. Wearing number 13, sponsored by the 1 Point, Reese Lovegrove. And wearing 21, sponsored by Peter Chambers, Keele Carlisle, Robins head coach, Craig Sandercock, sponsored by SJS Flooring Specialists. And now this evening's opponents, the Salford City Reds. They'll have Wigan loanee Jack Murphy at full-back, a three-quarter line of Danny Williams, Martin Gleeson, Reese Williams and Jody Broughton. Ryan McGoldrick and Mark Snade make up the half-back partnership, with the front row of Lee Jewett, Wayne Godwin and Shannon McPherson. Matty Ashurst and Andrew Dixon make up the second row partnership, with Stephen Wild, the loose forward. On the bench for the City Reds will be Stuart Howarth, Jordan James, Ryan Boyle and Daryl Griffin. They're coached by Phil Vivas. Today's referee is Mr. Thierry Alibert. So we await the arrival of the two sides onto the field here at the Salford City Stadium. A 6:15 kickoff on a Sunday evening, and it's bitterly cold, absolutely freezing. Imperative that Rovers make a good fast start, as they did against the Widnes Vikings last week. Salford are currently rock bottom of the table, which is understandable given the off-field problems they had in pre-season, but they are now under new ownership and they are recruiting players. Daryl Griffin comes in from Leeds on loan. Martin Gleeson makes an appearance, his debut for Salford. His last game of rugby league will have been against Hull Kingston Rovers at Craven Park before that ban. And there's been a late change to the Salford lineup. Jody Broughton must have taken a knock or tweaked something in the warm-up, because he's been replaced. Ashley Gibson comes straight in on the wing to replace him, so the pace of Jody Broughton would have been a feature of this game. Ashley Gibson's a good player, but hasn't got the ability to go the full length, you would have thought, so I think Rovers can see that one as a bit of a positive. Just the one change to that Robins 17. Liam Salter comes in to replace Chris Heel. Salter ruled out by a dead leg last week against the Widnes Vikings. Otherwise, Craig Sandercock goes with the same lineup. The Robins take the field wearing their away strip of the royal blue with the yellow, the orange flashes, blue shorts, white socks. Salford, as you would expect, with a name of the City Reds. They'll be in an all-red strip. Salford led out by Stephen Wild. You look down the Salford lineup, there's lots of experience there. Not too many players that we don't know so much about. Ashurst and Dixon, both formerly with St Helens. Ryan McGoldrick had that spell at Hull FC last year. Wayne Godwin's a former black and white. And Darryl Griffin coming off the bench, well, that will add some grunt to the forwards of the Salford City Reds. It will be them to get this game underway. The countdown to kick-off begins. Thierry Alibert. He gives a signal and we are underway. It will bounce a couple of times. Rovers need to be careful. Dobson was. And the first drive in is met. 23 out from the Robins line. Centre field now. Con Meeker. Had a storming game last week. Was man of the match for me. Rovers will come down the middle once again. The tackles fly in from the City Reds, led by Matty Ashurst, wearing 11. Thierry Alibert takes them back a decent 10 metres. Craig Hall takes on the line for the first time this evening. Makes good ground despite the attention of three Salford defenders. Once again, Rovers just keeping the ball up the jumper. That's a loose offload. It's come up trumps for Craig Hall, though, but is kind of isolated in the centre of the field. Rovers get to cross halfway. They'll do so now via the right boot of Josh Hodgson. Will that one stay in the field of play? It does indeed. And Amari Caro and youngster Liam Salter complete the tackle. Salter with that thigh heavily strapped. The dead leg suffered against the Wakefield Trinity Wildcats in round 2. So Salford now with their first use of the ball. A good ball from Asher centre field, and Salford have men out wide. They've managed to promote the ball. They're making inroads down that right-hand edge. The Rovers left, but Rovers have scrambled. Corey Patterson was in attendance. Salford know they need to get the fans on side quickly. 3 disappointing defeats already this season, conceded lots of points. So if they were to get the first score, what a boost that would be for the City Reds. A low drilled kick gives David Hodgson a decision to make. He takes the correct decision in the end as the former Salford man. And the Robins will have head and feed at the scrum, around 20 metres out from their own line. It was Mark Sneed with the kick. Promising youngster Mark Sneed. So Rovers now with the exit set. They need to be error-free. They need to play the full set. And then either Dobson or Hall or Josh Hodgson can get the kick away and ping Salford down the other end of the field. Centre field, the Robins play the ball. The scoot off is by Josh Hodgson. He's met by the strong tackle of Shannon McPherson. Kick to touch by the Robins. And 30 metres out from the Salford line, the scrum will form. Head and feed to the City Reds. So Greg Eden, as you would expect, looking to link into the line at every opportunity, but Rovers just deciding that they'll try and play the game down in the Salford half. A side lacking confidence like Salford may make mistakes. Certainly will if we can have some of that brutal hitting which Kr produced last week against Widnes. He's defended in the centre of the field once again, is Mika. And there he is making the first tackle of this set. Needs to clear the ruck, there's Kr. Could have been a penalty then, but Thierry Alibert allows the play to continue. Salford now around 12 metres from halfway. It's with Shannon McPherson. He bounces off one, he releases the ball, and Rovers almost came up trumps then. Adam Walker was hunting the ball. Sneed goes down a couple of metres from halfway. It was the tackle of Adam Walker, and the big man, the former Huddersfield props, in there once again, working hard. Played just over 4 minutes, still no score. Both sides just testing each other out. Dobson this time prevents the offload from the Salford City Reds, who are edging the way towards the danger zone. It's with the left-footed kick of Sneed once again. Eden takes that one comfortably. He has around 3 or 4 metres in which to manoeuvre, but goes down under the three-man tackle. Rovers now just going down that left edge, their favoured edge. You have to say, many points Rovers score down that side of the field. Here's the first touch of the game for Amari Caro. Centre field, just 5 metres from halfway. Short pass. Good collision from the Robins. Good ball carry that. Adam Walker plays the ball. That's a flat pass to Kr, who will look to offload to Tumavave, but elected sensibly to hold on to the ball. But Rovers are now on the last, so Dobson will go to the sky. It's a tester for the fullback, who takes it very comfortably. Jack Murphy diffuses the bomb, and Rovers need to be alert. Well, Rovers have managed to get everyone back onside as a swinging arm goes in then from Dale Ferguson. Tough, aggressive forward is Ferguson. Really did take it to Gareth Hock last week in that win at MS3 Craven Park. Here come the City Reds again, have spilled the ball. Rovers will collect. A mistake on the Salford left. Ashurst and Rhys Williams, the man from Warrington, making the mistakes. And this is a good opportunity now for the Robins. Just over 6 minutes played as Tumavave makes around 4 or 5 metres directly up the centre of the field. Josh Hodgson fires it left. Here's Adam Walker, links the play to Dobson. Eden, missed out pass to David Hodgson. He's a finisher, and he has scored for the Robins. 4-0 the Robins lead, first try of the game. And it's that favoured left edge of the Robins once again. Greg Eden timed his run into the line to perfection. It was a great ball initially from Josh Hodgson, and against his former side, David Hodgson gets the opening score of the game. It's come in the 7th minute. Rovers lead by 4. That try coming from the mistake by the City Reds around 35 metres from their own try line. And when sides cough up possession, you have to capitalise, you have to take advantage. And that's exactly what the Robins did. So Dobson has his first conversion attempt of the evening. Only around 10 metres in from touch, gives it plenty of loft. And the cheers from the Rovers fans signify that Dobson is 1 from 1. Successful kick for the skipper, and Rovers lead by 6 points to 0. So the restart by Mark Sneed pins Rovers deep inside their own territory. A low pass to Tumavave, who did well to take that one in from the skipper, but Rovers safely have possession back once again. back-to-back tries would be fantastic for the Robins. He did say that a couple of early scores may knock this Salford side confidence. I'm sure Phil Vivers is sending out the message that there's a long way to go in this game. There's no need to panic. As Josh Hodgson picks a hole, and Salter's gone through the gap. He's got Caro on the outside, and Amari Caro puts it down with the try line begging. All he had to do was take that ball in. It was try time, and the young winger just couldn't take the pass in. Salter did fantastically well in the centres, picked the right pass. No excuse for Amari Caro. And Rovers should have had back-to-back tries. In the 10th minute of play. But while it's disappointing that Caro didn't go in, I have to say Rovers really did unpick the Salford defence with some real ease then. Here's Danny Williams. Oh, he's got the offload away and it's been put to the floor once again. This is exactly the same position where Salford put the ball down for Rovers' first try of the evening, so opportunity beckons once again for Craig Sandercock's men. That score to the Robins looks as though it's shaken Salford. Dobson and Eden in the centre of the field. The ball finds Dobson. Here is Greg Eden now. Finds the wingman Hodgson. He needs to step inside. He beats one, beats another, feeds the skipper. Has Dobson got that down? For me, he has. Just looking at the big screen. Thierry Alibert, he agrees. And it doesn't matter about the missed opportunity now for Amari Caro, because the Robins skipper has scored the second try of the evening. And Hull Kingston Rovers lead by 10 points to 0. A quick fire attack from the scrum. And Hull Kingston Rovers have made Salford pay for not respecting possession once again. What's encouraging is the way Greg Eden just seems to have fitted into this Robins side effortlessly. Knows exactly where to be, knows which players to run off. David Hodgson's part in that try can't be overlooked. Would have been tempting to go for the corner, sensibly elected to step inside, and Dobson with the finish. It's now Dobson looking to convert his own score. The cheers once again are from the Rovers fans on that far side, because it's Salford City Reds 0, Hull Kingston Rovers 12. Great start for the Robins. So once again Salford with the restart. Here's Ivan Tumavave. Got the pass off Dobson and takes Rovers over the 20-metre line. Rovers just need to keep controlling the ball. If Salford have to play catch-up rugby, you just sense that they're going to just make more and more mistakes and allow Rovers to really pile some points up this evening, but still very much early days. Just coming up to 13 minutes played as Rovers with Wellham on that far side try to cross halfway. Here's Corey Patterson, not really seen so much of Jukebox in the opening 12-13 minutes or so, but he got involved then, and Craig Hall just pins Salford back. Will it stay in? Just has too much on it. Ashley Gibson and Jack Murphy watch that one go dead, but Rovers once again are already set up on the defensive line, as Salford just told by Thierry Alibert to go back and start again. Important now that Rovers don't concede the penalty. Just need to complete the tackles and then clear the ruck. And there is the penalty for offside. Craig Hall or Dale Ferguson were the guilty party, it seems, and well, that will be a relieving penalty for the City Reds. It will allow them to cross halfway. They'll be desperate to have an attacking opportunity in the Rovers 20 now, and that kick downfield has taken them not too far away. They'll restart around 22 metres out. Godwin just pops it short to McPherson. Good test for Rovers defence this, which was fairly solid against Widnes last week. They did have one or two dodgy moments, but Ashurst looks to break Rovers' resistance now. They're defending their own line of the Robins as Godwin gets the ball at dummy half. Centre field of the City Reds just needs to wrap up that ball carrying arm. The Salford City Reds release the ball, and it's come up trumps for them because Rovers didn't react quickly enough. Once again, the City Reds trying to force their way over the line from short range. Held up just a couple of metres shy. There's an advantage for Ashley Gibson. He steps back inside and he goes in around 10 metres from the left-hand touchline. So a response from Salford in the 15th minute. Rovers just looked short on numbers, and the long ball over the top saw the late replacement, Ashley Gibson, just cut back inside and get Salford's first points of this game. It's Salford City Reds 4, Hull Kingston Rovers 12. Well, I'm not quite sure why we went to the video ref, but the try has been awarded anyhow. Didn't look to be any problems with that score. And that offside against Dale Ferguson has hurt the Robins to the tune of 4 points. Amari Caro was caught out of position by that long ball. And Mark Sneed now has the opportunity to reduce the errors even further. Only around 6-7 metres in. Looks as though he's just swung that one wide. The flags waved that one away, so not a successful conversion, which will delight Rovers as they still lead by 12 points to 4. So a little test now of Rovers' character. Can they prevent Salford from back-to-back tries? That's a good deep kick-off, and that looked as though the man had stepped over the line. Indeed he did. Wayne Godwin, what a fantastic restart by the Robins. I wasn't actually looking at who took the restart. I'm assuming it may have been Corey Patterson. He gets such loft and elevation, does the big man. So Rovers now have got possession back cheaply. Tumavave having a decent stint is the New Zealander. There's Hall now. This is where Rovers want ball in hand. The likes of Josh Hodgson, Craig Hall, Michael Dobson, they can create gaps, and Greg Eden and the like can flood through. Rovers now just 19 metres out as Mika plays that ball. Favoured left edge, short pass to Corey Patterson, is adjudged to be forward by Thierry Alibert. Michael Dobson looks bemused by that decision. And looking back on the big screen, it certainly looked as though Rovers had just edged in front of the pass there. So it looks as that was a good decision by the French referee. No complaints, and Salford, they will get the ball back. Rovers now wanting to show some aggression. Bit too much aggression though shown by Conmeeker, who has conceded a penalty. Josh Hodgson not happy with that decision, but Rovers just guilty of lying on the ball carrier for just that second or two too long. As long as it's applied consistently to both sides, we won't mind that. Exactly 18 minutes of this game have been played. 12-4 the Robins lead, but Salford have possession inside the Robins half once again as a result of that penalty, and they need to make sure they don't concede another try, because Salford would really fancy themselves to get back into this game. And Salford are being allowed to offload. Here's Stephen Wild, the skipper. He's spun to the floor around 24 metres out. Godwin scoots off, he wants a runner, brings the ball back on the inside. Salford now just promoting the ball. Rovers can't afford to take any dummies as the fullback Jack Murphy joins the line, met by a solid shot from Dale Ferguson. Salford have kicked ahead. Amari Caro, oh, he's missed it. And Ashley Gibson, if the video referee says so, will have his second score of the game. The video referee is Ian Smith, but for me, that looks as though Amari Caro made a total mess of that kick through. And Salford have grounded that one. And Salford look as though they've scored their second try, and Ashley Gibson's got his second try. And Amari Caro, unfortunately, is having a bit of a nightmare in this game. Should have scored. Caught out by the long pass for the first Gibson try, and he missed that kick through as well. And for me, Salford will now only trail by 12 points to 8. The try is awarded. "19 minutes played, and Rovers have been guilty of allowing Salford to get their way back into this game when it really shouldn't have happened. So from a similar position to where he missed the first conversion, Mark Sneed has the opportunity to reduce the arrears even further. Timekeeper stopped with 20 minutes 5 seconds remaining in this first half. A half where Rovers have clearly looked the better side. Here's Mark Sneed, now that one looks okay, and it's been waved away by the officials. It must have just drifted to the left-hand edge of that post. So it's only by the virtue of 2 Dobson conversions that Rovers still lead this game. Amari Caro, someone needs to go over and have a word with him. He needs to lift his game, he needs to lift his own confidence. So Salford get the ball back from the restart. Rovers now, they need to be error-free, they need to be penalty-free, and they need to keep the Salford City Reds in this area of the field. Here to come now with Lee Jewett. That could have been a penalty against the Robins, and Godwin takes the opportunity to take on the Robins defensive line, met by his former teammate Craig Hall. Good ball wide, finds Ashley Gibson, he steps inside. Godwin now, Salford are on the last, so Sneed puts boots a ball, it's a crossfield kick. Salford will collect, they will offload, and then they're wrapped up by the Robins. Good tactic, but the execution, once Salford had caught the ball, wasn't the best, and Martin Gleeson over on that far side was quickly wrapped up. Here's Chris Wellham now, not seen too much of Chris Wellham. Mika shows the ball but takes a good solid shot from the Salford City Reds. Stephen Wild leading by example, as you would expect. Here's the first Robins change, it's Reece Lovegrove. He can really add some go forward to that Rovers attack. The offload finds Craig Hall from Josh Hodgson. Rovers just need to steady things down. Hodgson once again goes short to Lovegrove. There's the link. Greg Eden fires the ball to Wellham. Wellham almost breaks the line. Just one tackle remains, 20 metres out. Dobson puts the kick in. What's the bounce like? It's a good one as far as Salford are concerned, because they've got possession, but Rovers have them pinned just a few metres from their own try line. The Salford fans are baying for offside as Corey Patterson collides with the ball carrier. Salford struggling with this exit set. Rovers are defending manfully. Just need to ensure they're not caught offside as Salford once again just try to bash their way down the centre. They've only made around 17 metres in that set and they've gone to the air. Caro needs to make a decision here. And it's gone into touch. Rovers will settle for that. They'll get the scrum. Head and feed only 30 metres out from the Salford line. With around 16 and a half minutes of this first half remaining, this would be a good time for Rovers to reassert their authority, go 2 scores in front, keep Salford at arm's length and secure that all-important 2 points, which could take Rovers up to 7th in the table this evening. The ball's out now, it's with Mika, links to Dobson. Oh, that's not the best kick from Dobson, and on the first tackle, Rovers have made a mess of that. And it's a penalty now conceded by Greg Eden. And Michael Dobson will be absolutely furious at himself for that. Rovers have another 5 tackles in the bank. And they absolutely bombed it. Daryl Griffin comes on to replace Shannon McPherson for the City Reds. The big screen just pans on Dobson and is not happy with himself. And Rovers will have some defending to do once again. They've already been breached by the City Reds twice in this game. It's 2 tries all, so you have to say it's pretty even, although you do sense that Rovers look to have more quality in their ranks. But it's all about putting points on the board. And Salford are looking to do that for the 3rd time this evening. Here's the link-up play once again to McGoldrick. Jack Murphy impressed against Rovers in pre-season for the Wigan Warriors, but well wrapped up by Dale Ferguson. It's with McGoldrick once again. The link-up was by Matty Ashurst. Rovers just standing off and eventually come in and knock the ball carrier to the floor. There's a penalty against the Robins for hands in. It's Michael Dobson once again. And if the pattern of this game is to be continued, it's been penalties followed by tries as a Rovers player is knocked clean off his feet. It was Reece Lovegrove who needs to get back quickly into the defensive line. Sneed now links up to McGoldrick, delays the pass. The gap is there for Jack Murphy, but it's closed by Craig Hall. Rovers managed to slow the play the ball down sufficiently to get the defensive line set. Salford look to stretch them from left to right. They're looking to do so. Was that a Shepherd? Rovers were appealing for it, but it wasn't given by the French referee, and Rovers still have some defending to do. That's a kick, and it's bounced for Rovers, who've got possession. Was there a slight knock-on? No, says Thierry Alibert, and it was Chris Wellham, the man who got possession. And well, Salford now are lifting the intensity in this game. Here's Mickey Payer. He needs to do likewise for the Robins. He goes down centre field, still midway inside Rovers' half. The scoot off is met by the tackle of Daryl Griffin. Salford, well, Rovers were penalised earlier for just hanging on too long. I'm sure Salford didn't clear that ruck too quickly. Salter needs to come in field. He did well then, the young centre. Rovers have crossed halfway. It's with Dobson. He'll look to test the fullback and winger once again. It's swirling around. Good take from Danny Williams. Steps away from the first man. Can't beat Dobson and Ferguson. But Salford in the last 10 minutes, you have to say, are starting to get into the ascendancy in this game. Still the Robins lead by 4, 12 points to 8, but it's a very even game with Salford having more possession and territory. Martin Gleeson crosses halfway, met by the solid shot there of Rhys Lovegrove and Con Meeker. Here's Daryl Griffin, hard and straight up the middle. The man on loan from the Leeds Rhinos. Howarth fires it to Sneed. Sneed measures the kick. It's gone high, it's not gone forward too far. Akaro takes that one, that will do his confidence the world of good, Amari Caro. And Rovers have possession, but they're inside their own half, and Salford are flying up into the ball carrier's face now. Josh Hodgson, dummies, tries to catch Salford napping and send Mickey Payer rampaging through a gap, but it was closed quickly by Howarth. There's a good ball to Wellham. Has he got David Hodgson on his outside? He runs over the top of the first Salford defender, crosses halfway, and Rovers are on the front foot. Dink over. Rovers were hoping for an obstruction, but nothing given. Salford offload, and Rovers bring the City Reds down 12 metres from halfway. Becoming something of an arm wrestle now as Matty Hashurst plays that ball. Another 3-4 metre game by Salford, who are looking to turn and offload. Now their confidence is lifting. You do sense another Rovers try is needed. That pass looks slightly forward. Touch judge and referee do nothing, as Salford probe down the short side once again. There's the kick. Greg Eden needs to get on his bike. He'll need to bring that ball back into the field of play. Oh, and he's had his pocket pinched. And Salford level up the scores. Greg Eden looking to bring the ball out. Had the ball pinched one-on-one. Salford pinched the ball through, I believe it was Mark Sneed, the number 22. And Rovers from 12-0 up. Now level at 12-all with a very, very kickable conversion to come. It's all going wrong for the Robins. Greg Eden does have that in his locker to make the odd mistake, but you have to credit the Salford City Reds. It was Mark Sneed. And Rovers are being taught a bit of a lesson now. You don't go 12-0 up and put your cue on the rack, because 12-0 in the Super League is absolutely nothing. 9.5 minutes to half time. Salford are about to lead for the first time in this game. And Mark Sneed, he's been the standout player for the City Reds in this game so far, and it's he who gets his first successful conversion, and it's 14-12 to the Salford City Reds. So Rovers now have to produce something. They need to halt the momentum now of this Salford side, who visibly have lifted. They really fancy this game now, Salford. You can't blame them. They've scored 14 easy points, you have to say. Rovers defending in the middle. Reece Lovegrove needs to clear the ruck. He did so. Lee Jewett goes down on halfway. It's the last tackle against the Salford City Reds. So that man, Sneed, puts boot to ball once again. Collected by Hodgson, 6 metres away from the post. Runs into the tackle of Stuart Howarth, the former Wakefield Trinity Wildcat and Wigan Warrior. Caro now just shimmies, looks to create a gap, but smothered by red and white shirts, and Rovers just finding the hard yards exactly that, difficult to come by. Mickey Payer has not really made a barnstorming impact yet. Can this man, Corey Patterson? Yes, he can. He's found Greg Eden, the correct ball, and Dobson will score for the Robins. He runs the angle, he goes in. Rovers didn't trail for long, 7.5 minutes to half time, and Dobson scores his second try, all on the back of fantastic play by Corey Patterson. Jukebox picked a gap. Great support play from Dobson, who raced around 30 metres to the line, ran the angle away from the Salford defence, and Rovers go back into the lead by 16 points to 14. Greg Eden was the man in support. Dobson took the pass, and Dobson goes in despite the chase of Danny Williams. Fantastic that Greg Eden so quickly made up for that mistake for the Sneed try. And Dobson now looking to continue with his successful conversion rate this evening. The flags are raised. Hull Kingston Rovers go back into the lead by 18 points to 14 as we have just over 6 minutes to the half-time hooter. Great play from Patterson. Eden exploded onto the ball. The final pass to Dobson, just looking at the big screen, did look as though it had drifted forward, in fairness to the Salford fans, who were quite rightly complaining. But you play to the whistle, that's what Rovers did, and the try was awarded. There's a high shot. Ali Burr quickly runs in to ensure there's no silliness. It was Jordan James, the Salford man, who in fairness didn't look as though it was intentional. But what it's done is it's allowed Rovers to go 10 metres inside Salford's half. Another try before half-time would really reassert Rovers' authority in this game. Keal Carlisle's on, it's his short pass that brings in Mickey Payer. The big man goes down around 22 metres out from the Salford line. Carlisle's there once again, he's a good crisp passer. Hall picks the gap, he almost goes through. Desperate defence by the City Reds. The standoff was stopped as Eden now finds Caro. Caro this time makes it count. And Rovers have scored back-to-back tries inside the space of 3 minutes. And they lead now by 22 points to 14. The Salford fight back has been well and truly reversed as Kr goes in a metre from the right-hand corner flag. Quick fire hands, and Rovers go in once again. Great play from the Robins. Craig Sandercock's half-time team talk will be slightly happier now. So Caro's made mistakes in this game, Eden's made mistakes, but both players have responded fantastically. Rovers simply just need to control the ball in this game. They've got far more quality than Salford. It's easy to see. Cut out the mistakes, cut out the silly penalties, and Rovers could go on to a handsome scoreline. The only team that can beat Rovers this evening, I feel, is themselves. Oh, what a good kick from Dobson. Angles it, and then it swerves right down the centre of the posts. And Rovers have a 10-point advantage with what, just 3.5 minutes to half-time. Four from 4 for the skipper. He's got his kicking boots on. As Rovers take possession from the restart once again. It was the high shot by Jordan James which gave Rovers field position. And if Rovers can get enough play down in that Salford 20-30 metre zone, as has so often been proven this year, Rovers one of the most free-flowing try-scoring sides in the Super League in these opening 4 weeks. They just need to batten down the hatches defensively. Dobson misses out the man, finds Hall. Hall elects to take the tackle. He needs to because there's 4 Salford men on him. Still he stands, eventually goes down. Could be a penalty that, because Sneed was all over the top of the Rovers standoff. They exchange words as Dobson puts that high. Oh, it's missed. Amari Kr picks up, gets the ball over the top to Ferguson. We're going to go to the video referee, Ian Smith. There's only 2 minutes of this first half remaining, and Rovers may have scored their 3rd try in a 5-minute burst. Has Dale Ferguson made it 2 in 2 games? Well, we'll go to the onside, offside, certainly. It was just missed by the Salford fullback, went straight between his legs. Did Amari Kr then pick the ball up cleanly? If he did, the pass over the top had no problems, and Ferguson will have gone in, and Rovers will lead by 28 points to 14. The pickup from Kr wasn't the cleanest. It may have hit a Salford boot as he picked it up. Salford are claiming no score there, moving forward. The Rovers players, in fairness, they're not sure. So there's no interference on Jack Murphy. He'd lost the ball before the chasers got there. That's clear to see. For me, it all hinges on whether Amari Kr picked up that ball cleanly. Greg Eden was the on-rushing player. It was missed by Jack Murphy. Ian Smith's having several looks at this. He'd lost the ball, had the Salford fullback. Not sure why Smith keeps looking at that piece of the action. Well, they're not going to the grounding, so it looks as though this may be chalked off. No try, penalty to the defence. There was certainly no touch on the fullback. It must have only been offside. And that could have been a really decisive moment. Is it because Greg Eden knocked Jack Murphy over? I don't know, I'm not sure, but disappointingly, that score doesn't count for the Robins. That could have been a real game breaker, that. The third try in a 5-minute spurt. Still Rovers lead by 10, but Salford have already shown in this game that they can score points. Important now, with the clock just ticking into the final minutes of this first half, that Rovers don't concede. It's with Matty Asher as he switches the play, gets Salford moving down that right edge, but the Rovers covers there. 42 seconds showing on the clock as Salford tried to probe down that side. Gleeson's trying to get the ball away. And I think that Thierry Alibert has signalled that there was a forward pass in that passage of play. So Rovers should get head and feed at the scrumming. Well, it was a loose carry by the former Wigan, Warrington and Hull FC man. Huddersfield Giants as well for Martin Gleeson. Craig Sandercock, you can see on the big screen, racing to the dressing room as Rovers will have time for just one more tackle as the hooter blows. You have to say it's been an up and down first half as far as Hull Kingston Rovers are concerned. They started the game well, feeding off two Salford errors inside the first 10 minutes with tries to David Hodgson and the skipper Michael Dobson, both converted to give the Robins a 12-0 advantage. But then, following an offside decision against Dale Ferguson, Salford fired a long ball over to the left touchline. Amari Caro was caught out of position. Gibson stepped back inside, and Salford had their first points on the board. Sneyd couldn't convert, but it was 12-4 to the Robins. 4 minutes later, Salford had their second try. The kick through should have been pushed dead by the Rovers wingman Amari Caro, who had already put down a good chance earlier in the first half. He missed the ball. Ashley Gibson didn't waste the opportunity. He grounded. Again, Sneyd couldn't convert, but at 12-8, the City Reds were back in this game. It got worse for the Robins. Salford scored next. The kick deep. Greg Eden trying to run the ball away from his own line. Had his pocket pinched by Mark Sneyd. He got the ball one-on-one. Went in underneath the post, converted his own try, and all Rovers' early work had been undone as Salford led 14-12. But then Rovers really put on a spurt. 33 minutes. Patterson, great play. Got the offload away. Eden steamed onto the ball. The final pass to Dobson was very, very dodgy. The officials didn't see it, and Dobson scored to push Rovers' noses in front at 16-14. He converted, and it was 18-14. Just 3 minutes later, quick hands, and Amari Caro atoned for his earlier mistakes when he got the ball down just a half a metre in from the right-hand touchline. Dobson with a great conversion to make the score 24-14 to the Robins. And then 2 minutes before half-time, Rovers had a try chalked off. A high bomb on the last tackle. The Wigan low knee, Jack Murphy, the fullback, missed the ball. It looked as though Caro had picked up cleanly and sent Ferguson over, but video referee Ian Smith had other ideas. That one was chalked off. So at half-time, it's good news, but Rovers just need to see this game through. They lead by 24 points to 14. Welcome back to HullKR.tv as Michael Dobson leads the Robins out for the start of the second half here at the Salford City Stadium, with his side leading at half-time by 24 points to 14. Rovers have gone from the sublime to the ridiculous at times in this game. They've scored some fantastic tries, but they've absolutely gifted Salford 3 scores. If they can sort themselves out defensively, it should be a win for the Robins. They're going to have to fight the initial onslaught of the City Reds at the start of this second half. They know an early score for them puts this game back in the melting pot. It's going to be the big Australian Corey Patterson to get us back underway in this second half. Expects one of those long, high testing restarts. Needs to ensure that he gets his distance right. Well, fooled us all on that occasion, did Corey, because it just spun off his boot and went low, but nevertheless Salford have taken possession at the start of this second half. Howarth just moves it centre field, where Salford run into the 3-man defensive wall of the Robins. Mickey Payer's there, Dale Ferguson's there. Really does add some steel to the Robins defensive line, Dale Ferguson. Hopefully Rovers can make it a more permanent deal from the Huddersfield Giants. There's another former Giant now, Greg Eden. What's his decision? Well, that could well be a 40-20. And I think he's made the wrong decision. If it's a 40-20, you've got to at least make an attempt, Greg. And he did nothing, really. And if you count the mistake he made in the first half, if Salford were to score on this set, then Greg Eden would have been guilty of really handing Salford some points in this game. So a 40-20 kick, just 90 seconds into the second half, gives Salford a good attacking opportunity. Gleeson played the ball. It's with Andrew Dixon, the former Saints man. Here's Sneed now, short pass. Salford spinning in the tackle, looking to promote the ball. So it's the big man, Daryl Griffin. Salford looked to go left, then brought the ball back the other way. They're trying to barge their way over. Rovers have muscled up. They've held the player up over the line. They'll have to go back 10 metres. But the pressure mounts for the Robins. There's Ryan Boyle, the former Castleford Tiger. Set move from the Salford City Reds. McGoldrick wrapped up by the long arms of Corey Patterson. The reinforcements come in and Salford are chopped down, but still only 13 metres out. Short pass from Howarth. Kick over the top, will be too deep surely. It was. The Salford man desperately trying to get the ball back, has run into the advertising hoardings, but thankfully he's okay. David Hodgson was wanting the quick restart, but called back by Thierry Alibert. We've played just 3 minutes of this second half on a freezing cold Manchester evening. It is absolutely bitterly cold. Here's Graham Horn now, takes a big shot. The head was rocked back, but plays the ball, and that's a penalty to the Robins, and it's a good penalty. This will allow them to cross halfway via the boot of Craig Hall. Daryl Griffin not clearing the ruck. The first try of the second half could be a crucial one in deciding the outcome of this game. If it goes to the Robins and they manage to get 16 points up, it would be a big ask for Salford. as Mickey Payer comes charging in, wrapped up by the three-man tackle. The third man in was Martin Gleeson, who's doing okay considering he's been out the game for so long. Greg Eden steps away from the fullback, races in under the sticks. This guy is absolutely magic. He has got feet to die for in terms of a rugby league player, and he races in, and Rovers do have that first score. It's come 4 minutes into the second half, and it's pushed Rovers even further in front. The Robins lead this game by 28 points to 14, and Greg Eden is the try scorer. Well, it was he who gave Salford a sniff at the start of the second half by allowing that 40-20 kick to go into touch. But as he did in the first half, he immediately makes up for his mistake. Dobson is right in front, and Dobson will surely make it 5 from 5 with the boot. He does, and Rovers lead now by 30 points to 14. So Salford now, that's a real hammer blow for their chances in this game. The restart is taken by the big jukebox, Corey Patterson. He goes down under 3 defenders. He'll play the ball just approaching midway inside the Robins zone half of the field. Mickey Payer is just working hard, doing the basics correctly, is Mickey Payer. Keil Carlisle finds Hall. Not seen too much of Craig Hall. That ball from Ferguson hit the chest of the youngster Liam Salter and goes to ground. Was it a touch by a Salford finger? I think Rovers have got the decision here. So that's perhaps why Liam Salter didn't take the pass in. It's Rovers who've certainly been awarded the scrum. From the scrum, Rovers have the ball with Chris Wellham, the vice-captain. Just feeling his way back into these last game and a half, I feel, for Chris Wellham, but I'm sure we'll soon be seeing that free-flowing try-scoring form from him. Got one against Widnes last week, of course. Good footwork from Graham Horn, centre field. Rovers are 9 metres inside the Salford City Reds half. Carlisle gets Rovers moving forward. Eden, this time wrapped up by the eager red shirts of the City Reds. Rovers still edging the way forward. Dobson puts doubt into the minds of the defenders, and Hall tries to dance his way through. A cry of held from Thierry Alibert. It's on the last short side attack. Dobson measures the kick. This time Jack Murphy was in a good position and he took it cleanly and safely, and he's had his pocket picked by Jukebox. Great chance for Rovers now. They're only 7 metres out, just to the left of the posts. Long ball from Dobson. Hall looks one way, steps back inside, hangs on to the ball as the Rovers stand off. This could really put this game to bed if Rovers can score. Dobson with the short pass, but Salford stand firm. Over on that far right-hand corner of the field, the Robins will come back from right to left. Short pass brings in, was it Lovegrove or Ferguson? The shaven head of one of the two players. Not a clean play of the ball, but Rovers are moving forward again. Dobson wants the runner. He dummies and goes himself. On the last, Salford defending for their lives. They know if Rovers score, this one will be over. And Thierry Alibert says that Salford have grounded that ball, and it's a repeat set for Rovers. And that's what you have to do if you don't come away with points. Force the opposition to turn the ball over back to you. Defending is what tires teams out in the Super League, and Salford have got some more to do now, as long as the Robins take this ball cleanly from the resulting dropout. Dobson's there, pouches it 5 metres inside his own half. The beast from the east, oh, big collision with Gleeson. Gleeson did well then, he stood his ground. Keele Carlisle just gets Rovers moving forward, does a good job when Josh Hodgson leaves the field as Keele Carlisle. Very intelligent player, he's there again. It was Lovegrove who played the ball. Rovers are halted 20 metres out and dragged back 2 or 3 metres. Another charge in by the Hull Kingston Rovers side, carries them into the danger zone. Centre field, it's with Nicky Payer, links to the scrum half. Eden into the line, dummies, beats one man, goes himself and gets it down. Oh, this guy is brilliant. What a signing by Craig Sandercock. Greg Eden has surely put Rovers out of sight now. They lead this game by 34 points to 14, and it's a virtuoso performance from the fullback Greg Eden. We've had something and everything from this man, but one thing he does do well is he knows where the try line is. That try come in around 11 minutes into the second half, so 51 minutes played, and Rovers are looking good for the win now. Just danced his way between the defenders. Dobson's only 6-7 metres in from touch. We've got a great view of this one from the commentary position. Can he maintain his 100% conversion rate this evening? The answer is no. That one looks as though it's drifted wide. It has. But Rovers, with those 2 Greg Eden tries after half-time, are now firmly in the driving seat in this game. He dummied one, skipped out the tackle, reached over, and Rovers had another 4 points. From the restart, Rovers have the ball back with Nicky Payer once again. A 20-point advantage. And we're into the final half an hour of this game. It should be enough as long as Rovers don't implode and allow Salford to get back into this one. Lovegrove, good carry. Rovers edging the way up to halfway. They're 10 metres short. Dobson wants a runner. Great ball from Corey Patterson. Unfortunately, Greg Eden put it down on halfway. And there's a kick over the top. Interesting tactic, but David Hodgson's there. But we're going to go back to the original mistake, so it's a good tactic from Salford. It's kind of like having a free play. They know that if they didn't get the ball from that kick, play would be brought back, so it's like having a free shot in pool, I suppose. One thing Rovers do need to guard against is just going for the spectacular play every time they have the ball, because if they can control it, more points will surely come. They're offside, so now as a result of that they're going to have to defend inside their own 20 once again. Let's hope we don't see the same complacency we saw against the Widnes Vikings last week, when Rovers really did go flat in that second half. Let's see some fire in the bellies and some shots going in and keeping this defensive line rock solid. Here's Salford now with McGoldrick. At pace is Gleeson. Gleeson's wrapped up by Wellham. They've managed to hold him up. It looked as though Welham was struggling for dear life to keep the former Great Britain centre at bay, but he did enough. Howarth now, links to McGoldrick. Rovers defending centre field. The tackle count continues. It's a slow play of the ball from Matty Ashurst. Big shot goes in. How many tackles remain? Thierry Alibert still not signalled, so this must be the fourth. A kick through. There's a chance for Salford, and this time they've made it count. Andrew Dixon is the scorer. Thierry Alibert wants to go to the video referee Ian Smith. Surely it can only be for the onside, offside. It looks okay to me. And on 55 minutes of play, it looks as though Salford have their fourth try. The grounding was okay. Dixon's try is awarded, and Salford trail this game now by 34 points to 18. And that try really is a jolt to Rovers. They need to close games out. Good signing for Salford, Andrew Dixon. Always impressed me when he played for St Helens. Perhaps always considered a fringe player over at Langtree Park, so obviously we'll get more opportunity to start games with the Salford City Reds. Mark Sneed is lining up his fourth conversion. He swung that one in, and Salford have hit 20 points. It's Hulkingston Rovers 34, the Salford City Reds 20. It's a free score advantage on the scoreboard for the Robins, but there's still around 24 and a half minutes remaining. They've got to close this one out. So the restart sees the City Reds brought down around their 20-metre zone. Williams scoots off, almost breaks the line. It's a good job Dale Ferguson was clean on. And once again it's a penalty. If Rovers aren't careful, they're going to allow Salford to get back in this game. Defensively, Rovers have still got a lot of work to do. So Salford now inside the Robins half by 15 metres, trying to force the way through the line. Back-to-back tries, and once again they will fancy their chances in this game because they know that they can score points. They know that Rovers have been a little bit flaky. It's McGoldrick. Standing pass, brings in Gleeson, and they've broken the line, and they're going to score again. They've gone in. It's the number 32. It's Jack Murphy, the fullback. "58 minutes played, and Rovers are simply guilty of allowing Salford back into this game. It's penalties followed by tries. When will they learn, the Robins? So 24-34 now the Robins lead is cut. And once again Salford will fancy themselves. There's lots of time to go in this game. 21 minutes 46 seconds. Successful conversion by Sneyd. (26-34). Well, for the fans at home of the Super League watching this, they're getting lots of points. Craig Sandercock will be furious. What Rovers have got to do now is not concede a penalty. Don't piggyback Salford up the field. At the moment they're trapped midway inside their own half. Danny Williams with a scoot off. Rovers looked offside then at marker. The ball's gone loose and it's play on. And Rovers are starting to drop off the tackles now. Short side attack. Good wrestle by the Robins. They can't concede a penalty. On the last. It's high. There's an enthusiastic chase by Salford. Greg Eden's there. And Greg Eden has pounced that one safely. But pressure is on Rovers now. They've got to bring the ball away from their own line. Corey Patterson forced back by the tackle of Matty Ashurst. It needs a brave heart and a strong carry now from the Robins to get enough purchase downfield for Dobson to get the kick away. Good shot goes in on Lovegrove, but as you would expect from the Robins number 13, he carries on regardless. It's on the last. Craig Hall drills that one downfield. It's long. It's a good kick. It checks, there's the bounce, and it allows the chase to get up. And Ashley Gibson is nailed around 25 metres from his own line. So that was a good set by Rovers because Salford really were hunting. Oh, they were going to riskly offload then. 8 points, Rovers lead. It was 20. And that's just the way this game's gone. Salford will be buoyed by a couple of overseas signings in a week or two, so they're only going to get stronger. This is a good, decent time to play the City Reds, you felt. They've put the ball down there, Matt Sneyd. Was it touched by a Rovers hand? I think that's what he's claiming. No, just looks like a loose carry. Craig Hall was the man in attendance, but the decision goes the way of the Robins. Both sets of players just pausing for breath. We have just coming up to 18 minutes remaining in this game. So around 62 minutes played. Oh, and Rovers have made a mistake. Josh Hodgson at the base of the scrum is absolutely filthy with himself. And if Salford can get points from this set, once again, Rovers will have to take a long, hard look at themselves. Josh Hodgson trying to make amends. He's in there. Leading from the front defensively. Sneyd, drop-off pass. Once again, Rovers stand firm. They wrap up the ball carrying arm, but Salford are only 29 metres out. Lovegrove needed to clear the ruck because he could have been done for a penalty. Gleeson, he backs away from Wellham. Well, had he pinned his ears back then, he may have managed to go over, but he checked. And Danny Williams, surely he was in touch. Yes, he is. You could see clearly that his legs had gone over the line before he got that ball down. Thierry Alibert doesn't see the need to go to the video referee, so Rovers get the scrum 10 metres away from their own line, but Salford are turning the screw once again. Got to be mistake-free. This time Rovers have picked the ball up cleanly. Ferguson is absolutely smashed by the three-man tackle though. Salter can only make a few metres forward, and it needs the bigger guys now to carry the fight forward. There's Tumavave. That was a decent gain by Ivan Tumavave. Salford looked all offside as that ball was played, but Thierry Alibert was looking left, and that's the way Rovers went. Dobson now finds Graham Horn centre field. He can't make too many metres forward. Quick play the ball. Josh Hodgson drills that one downfield. It's skipping off the turf. It's collected by the fullback Jack Murphy. And this is where the Robins have got to play the remainder of this game.
Vince Bethnal in the West Stand. Could you go to the steward at the players' tunnel, please? That's Mr. Vince Bethnal.
Conmeeker could have been done then. Gleeson's appears to be getting stronger as this game goes on. Expected him to tire, but he's doing well as Dixon makes good yardage forward. Wellham and Dobson need to clear the ruck. Howarth pops it short. It's with Shannon McPherson. 30 metres out from the Robins line. Surely they're going to look to test Greg Eden once again. Howarth puts the kick through. It's not the best, but Amari Caro will have to play it. He gets away from one, beats the second, beats the third. Good play from Amari Caro. That was what was needed. Salford flying up into the Robins' faces now as David Hodgson goes to ground. Plays the ball to namesake Josh Hodgson. It's with Conmeeker. Rovers are making good yardage in this set. Good play from Tumavave. Great offload to Dobson. Put down by Salford. Back to one. Rovers have offloaded, but they've managed to keep the ball. Greg Eden just pops it up to jukebox Corey Patterson. He has carried the Robins over halfway. Surely one more score from the Robins will be enough to see off the challenge of the home side. Josh Hodgson picks up, scruffy play the ball, but Rovers are going forward with Hall. Eden brings in the centre with Salter. Salter got brought down by a good tackle on that far side, but Rovers have got the tails up. The chip over is by Hall. It's been pushed dead by Salford, and the Robins get a repeat set, and that is a momentum swing the way of the Robins once again. That was a good set. They managed to get the ball back in centre field for the tackle count wipes clean, and well, they put pressure on the Salford line. Just looking at the clock, 13 minutes, 33 seconds remain. The dropout will bounce. It skips into the hands of Dobson. Here's Adam Walker. Big collision. Wants to find his front. Quickly does Adam Walker as Wellham scoops up from Donny Half and runs off. Exactly 30 metres out from the City Reds line. Dobson links up the play to Hall. He went one way, skips inside, brings in Eden. He finds the centre Salter. He checks back, pokes his nose through the defensive line, but eventually goes to ground. Caro moves it back in field. It's with Conmeeker. who has coughed at possession, and here's that free play once again. Thierry Alibert will bring the play back, and Salford City Reds will have head and feed around 27 metres away from their own line. Should have been taken, that by Mika. No excuses there for him. Just over 12 and a half minutes remain. Rovers need that one more score, which will surely see the Salford City Reds off. It would be hard to see Salford scoring 3 tries in the final 12 minutes, but you never know the way this game's gone. Thierry Alibert takes Rovers back a decent 10 as Danny Williams picks up and scoots off. Goes a couple of metres over the halfway line. The tackle was completed by Dale Ferguson. Is offloaded as it held was called. Has to play it again. Oh, that's a loose one from Salford. Rovers have picked up, and there's that free play this time for the Robins. Not convinced this is the best rule, in fairness, because it just seems to waste the next 30 seconds of play. I think they should just go back to the original of if a mistake's made and there's no advantage, just call it back there and then. The ball's out, it's with Patterson. Rovers don't need to do anything spectacular here, they just need to get over halfway and then turn Salford around. Switch. It's with Adam Walker, he's gone over halfway. That's tackle number 3 in this set. Josh Hodgson finds Ivan Timavave. He's had his best game for Rovers so far this season, this evening. Here's Dobson now, the skipper, wants a runner, and unbelievably, Mika puts it down on the second successive occasion. Still the clock ticks away, we're approaching the final 10 minutes, and 8 points still at the advantage to the Robins. Salford move it left where Gleeson and Wellham have had a decent tussle all evening. At times Gleeson's looked as though he was getting the better of Wellham, but Wellham has always just managed to come up with the answer to thwart the experienced centre. That was a good shot from Mika. Felt that one, did Dixon, right in the midriff, cut him in half. He stayed down, but the tough guys, these rugby league players. Still Salford have possession. 9 metres inside Rovers territory, centre field. Alibert takes Rovers back a good solid 10 metres. Here come the City Reds once again. It's with Gleeson. Wellham watches him and then brings him down, but Danny Williams has got the offload. One more tackle to defend. Oh, Corey Patterson, silly play. On the last, Salford were going absolutely nowhere, and the big second row man has given them another 6 tackles. So Salford now looking to capitalise on that Rovers' generosity. Lee Jewett was the drive forward. The scoot off and the duck's head is Wayne Godwin. The Salford fans lift the noise. They've gone for the try line once again. They're only centimetres short. Once again it's the power play and they've gone in. 71 minutes played and Salford have put themselves within striking distance of Rovers. It's Wayne Godwin with the try. They just simply went for the push and the barge over 3 separate occasions, and it was third time lucky for the former Castleford, Wigan and Hull FC men. He also played for the Bradford Bulls, did Godwin, experienced man, and it's now the Salford City Reds 30, Hulkingston Rovers 34, and this is very kickable. This game is in the melting pot. Rovers were 20 points up. They have absolutely shot themselves in the foot. Successful conversion by Sneyd, 4 from 6 from him, and Rovers now are hanging on for dear life. Corey Patterson needs to take a long hard look at himself. Needless penalty given away on the 5th tackle. And Salford made the Robins pay. 7.5 minutes. The next try's the decider. If it goes the way of the Robins, then it should be game to them. But Salford, you feel, may still have a try left in them. Rovers now have got to up their intensity and they've got to up their discipline. Godwin pops it short to Lee Jewett. Good leg drive from Jewett. Rovers eventually wrestle him to the floor. It's on the last. McGoldrick measures the kick over. Oh, it took a good bounce. Oh, they're in. Danny Williams has put Salford into the lead. We've got 6.5 minutes remaining. It was the bounce that did Greg Eden. It was perfect for the wingman. And he scores for the Salford City Reds. And from 34 points to 14, Rovers trail with 6.5 minutes left. (36-34) to the Salford City Reds. Not too much Greg Eden could do about that. It was a great kick over. It looked as though it was Ryan McGoldrick. He put the back spin on. And this game is slipping away from Hulkingston Rovers. The clock has been stopped with 5 minutes 44 seconds remaining on the official scoreboard. Mark Sneyd has had done the extra 2, and it's 34 to the Salford City Reds. Well, shell-shocked, that's all you can say. Oh, Rovers will get possession. Good restart, it had loft and it hung in the air and Salford made a hash of it. Can Rovers show the character that's needed to go on and pinch this game back? Conmeeker finds Dobson, brings in Patterson. He needs to make an impact after giving away that silly penalty. Is offloaded. Rovers have managed to keep possession. A 3-man wrestle from Salford. 22 metres out now of the Robins. It's with Conmeeker, another man who needs to atone for 2 drop balls when he should have hung on to them. Josh Hodgson finds Dobson. It's with Hall. Good ball to Eden. Eden steps inside, tries to duck under the tackles. Salford desperately keep him out, just 3 or 4 metres shy of the try line. Dobson runs away. Collard wants a penalty. It's not coming. Now the main playmaker's not in the line. Josh Hodgson kicks through, and it's swallowed up by the Salford defender. And now Rovers concede the penalty through Adam Walker. Salford are in no hurry to get this game back underway. 3.5 minutes remain. Salford have not won since that victory at MS3 Craven Park at the back end of last season. It's something like 10 games on the bounce they've not won in. A very similar pattern to Rovers, which they halted last week. It looks as though the Robins are going to be on the receiving end. But we're going to have to look at that no try to Ferguson just before half-time. The one Amari Caro put down early in the game. Forward pass clearly. Ali Bear spotted it, and Rovers need to pack down quickly. The timekeeper is stopped with 2 minutes, 34 minutes of this game remaining. It's out. Hodgson finds Hall. Hall faced up by Stephen Wild. Salford putting all their best defenders in the middle of the field now, so perhaps Rovers need to take to the fringes. Good drive from Payer. Goes down a couple from halfway. Nika this time hangs on. Dobson into the line comes Greg Eden. Finds Wellham. Wellham can't break the defensive line. A penalty here for the Robins would be fantastic. Con Mika links the play once again. Hall beats the first man. Ferguson gets the offload. Perhaps Hall should have just hung on for a couple of seconds longer. Dobson fires the ball out wide. A chance for Rovers. Caro's held up. And he's been bundled over the whitewash. Well, I think we're going to the video referee to perhaps see how the game should be restarted. Nothing more. Salford have possession, and the clock is showing 1 minute 20. And, well, Rovers have simply blown this game if they don't do anything in the next minute and a half. 34-14 into the second half. You should not be losing the game. Rovers are great with ball in hand, but at this stage of the season they are just shipping too many points. Godwin tries to steal a penalty. It's on the last. Rovers will perhaps get 2, maybe 3 tackles. They'll drill this one into touch surely. It hits Craig Hall. Did he play at it? He probably did. I think the frustration of Craig Hall, he hammered it into touch, and Salford get the decision, and Salford will get the win. Criminal from Rovers, absolutely criminal. The ball's out. We're into the final 20 seconds. Ali Burr stops the timekeeper once again as he wasn't happy with something at the scrum. And there's a punch up now. It's going off. Adam Walker's there. Corey Patterson's gone in. We'll hear more about that during the week. Adam Walker was certainly throwing punches with Lee Jewett. Still 21 seconds remain. We'll look at the big screen to see what caused that flare up. Well, Walker and Jewett were simply eyeballing each other and then simultaneously just started throwing punches. Maybe a sin bin in for the two prop forwards. No point in leaving them on the field. Certainly calling out Lee Jewett and Adam Walker, so it looks as though it's going to be a yellow at least. Oh, it's a red. Jewett's off, and I think Adam Walker will follow. Jewett sent off, and surely Adam Walker will get the same. Adam Walker steps towards Thierry Alibert, and it's a red for Adam Walker as well. Still 21 seconds remain, unless Salford do something suicidal by throwing a stupid pass. This game's over. Into the final 10 seconds. Godwin. That try of his was the one that broke Rovers' hearts, and Danny Williams' try was the one that clinched it. There goes the final hooter. I don't know how it's happened, but Hull Kingston Rovers have lost this game by 38 points to 34. Well, shell-shocked, that's all I can say. Absolutely shell-shocked. Rovers with those tries to Greg Eden just after half-time, led by 34 points to 14 on 51 minutes of play. It looked as though they were going to go and rack on a real cricket score against the deflated Salford City Reds, but poor discipline, silly plays, drop ball, penalties given away, invited the Salford City Reds in. The winning try had some luck about it, but Salford capitalised, and well, Rovers players leave the field and they look absolutely shell-shocked, as they should. I think they should all come out in the press and apologise to the fans for that, because that simply was not good enough. So it's the Salford players that leave the field to the cheers of their fans.
Brilliant second-half performance.
The fight back was launched by Andrew Dixon's try on 55 minutes of play, followed up by a try to Jack Murphy on 58, a barge over from Wayne Goodwin on 71, and then that killer blow came in the 73rd minute of play when the kick over bounced away from Greg Eden. Danny Williams got there first, raced in, and Rovers just couldn't respond, and they've lost this game to the team that were sat bottom of the table. Michael Dobson's got his head in his hands. I think most of the fans will have for the journey home. It's finished here at the Salford City Stadium. A win for the home side by 38 points to 34.